Hello. Um, my name is Cookie, and I am almost never out, so I wanted to film a video. Um, as per usual, I'm crocheting, and as per usual, it's a blanket, and as per usual, it's a new one, actually. A new, kind of. I want to make blankets. I've estimated that I need to get about 4 more yarns. I don't know what they're called, like the balls of yarn, to finish this. This is going to be for my mom, I think. The color doesn't show up really well, but it's actually pink in person. And her favorite color is coral, and some of the gradient, like this part of the gradient, shows up more corally and more salmon. But if I find a better yarn, I'll probably just end up giving this to somebody else instead for Christmas, because I'm giving a lot of people blankets because I have a lot of yarn. And this one I specifically bought for my mom because I don't have any yarn that's her favorite color, but I have yarn for my older sister that's her favorite color. And I have yarn for my younger sister that's their favorite color as well. But hi, I'm Cookie. Um, I um, I don't know. I guess I kind of wanted to talk about myself a little bit and how I've been feeling about the community, which is crazy that I have an opinion about the community considering I don't front very often, or at least not by myself. Usually somebody else is here with me. 1 second. Sorry, I have a hangnail, and if I were a professional YouTuber, I would edit this out, but I don't know how to do that, so I'm not gonna do that. So now everybody knows I have a hangnail. I have a hard time keeping my train of thought in general, but especially when I'm not doing anything, so I'm just gonna be crocheting while I talk, as per usual. So like I said, I'm Cookie. I am 25, 26 years old ish. I don't know, there's not much about me. I tend to be very placeholder esque. So, like, if there's a lot going on with other alters, then I'll front so that they can, I guess, deal with that while I go about normal tasks. I like it though. It feels like I'm role playing, like as a normal person, I guess. I'm an interject, and it's whenever I front, I'm always like, oh, and now I get to be a 22-year-old girl, and I'm going to do the dishes and vacuum the floor. I actually put down some vacuuming powder before I sat down, and I ordered some food. Shouldn't have done that. I know I shouldn't have done that, and I know I'm gonna get told off for it, but that's okay, because it's gonna be yummy, and I'm excited for it. And if I have to deal with fronting so that they can argue, I want to spend $15. I know I'm not the only alter who feels this way, because there are a lot of alters in the system who don't front as often as others. So I know me, June, I guess, as well, because me and June are pretty glued together. I don't know many other alters, so I couldn't tell you which ones do and don't front, but I know that other alters agree with me. At the very least, I know that Puppy feels this way too, because she doesn't front as often, and when she does, both of us, we always try to interact with the DID community, and it's posed a lot of issues. I don't feel very well, one, represented in the community. There aren't a lot of systems of color that are out online, I guess. And I can't say that I blame them. Um, just the way that I've been treated, talking collectively, in the community as a person of color has been pretty awful. In the subreddits and other things when discussing race, it always seems like a lot of um, people of color tend to get shut down, which is pretty much just every community in general. But it kind of sucks to be shut down in a marginalized community as a marginalized person, to quite literally just be silenced, to have like posts locked and stuff like that, or to be told that you can't talk about certain topics involving like race and that sort of like intersection between like DID and race in certain Discord servers and stuff. It really sucks, especially when it's an important topic that needs to be talked about. And also, as a disabled person, I don't feel very represented, which is wild because the community of mentally ill people, you think that there would be more. And obviously, I'm not upset that nobody's disabled, but it it makes it hard for me to relate to people more often because they can go out and make friends or have a job or like have a normal life outside of their disorder, but I can't. And DID isn't the only thing that keeps me inside. Actually, it's my agoraphobia that keeps me inside. But my agoraphobia, OCD, and PTSD symptoms are like the three things that I am disabled by, and it's hard to find other people who are kind of in the same boat as me, especially with DID. I also feel like I'm not. I don't. I feel out of touch with the community. Um, I don't blame. I don't actually. I don't know if I blame the community or not for this, because I know that this is pretty common for online communities nowadays to be very careful with the words you say and stuff. But I can't stand the Discord servers, and Tumblr is its own mess of people who are like endogenic or like system by choice or whatever the fuck they're talking about over there. So I don't tend to involve myself with any system related things on Tumblr. Um, I don't use Instagram for DID unless it's for like informative stuff and I'm looking up like coping mechanisms or like any content creators that I see that have DID, I guess. I'll check in on like mental health creators, again, for like coping mechanisms and like tips and stuff. I don't use Twitter at all unless it's for looking at art or just browsing fan art. So I'm not involved in that space either. But I know that the like plural community is really big over there, and I don't like to involve myself in the plural community because it includes systems who are not like traumagenic, and I don't personally agree with that. So the only other place I could go to is Discord. And I feel like I've tried so many times to join Discord servers for systems, and they're either like really big and that's scary. I don't know how people talk in those, or they have so many rules. Like you have to use that bot that tells like everybody like who's fronting or like what altar is out. And I don't know. I'm not good with technology. Like me personally, I'm not good with technology, but also like collectively, I'm not that good. I'm sure somebody will be able to figure it out, but it's a lot of work when I could just like sign off on a message. And there's so many trigger lists where they have so many things you can't talk about. And certain things I understand, certain topics I get it. Like don't like mention like I don't know, like the general things I can't even talk about them here because it's YouTube. Um, but you know, like basic, don't randomly bring up this triggering topic. Like we're all traumatized people here, but then you have like these extra lists of things you can't talk about. Like don't talk about eating at all. Like oh, okay. Um, don't talk about this specific show. Don't talk about this specific um like don't use this specific word when discussing a family member. Use this one instead. Like all these very very specific things. And I'm guessing that it's the mods who have these triggers, so you can't talk about them. And in that case, I understand because this is their safe space and they want to be safe. But when it gets too specific like that, I tend to leave because why I don't want to have to go back and check the trigger list every time I want to send a message about how my day was, or like God forbid what I had for lunch, or I have to go and check through everybody's individual intros, which are all impossible for me to read because I don't understand the bot thing, for what everybody's individual triggers are, and make sure I trigger those, or not trigger those, like censor those instead. And it's too much to keep track of just to make friends. If we were talking one-on-one and you told me, hey, like this specific show really triggers me, or hey, I don't really like the topic of food that much, can we like not talk about it or like brush by it really quickly, and not like dwell on it? Yeah, sure, I understand. Because that is a one-on-one thing. But I can't possibly, before checking every message, go and check everybody's trigger list to see like, could I possibly be triggering somebody? And also, I understand the need to curate a safe space online, but maybe public Discord servers isn't the place to do it. Because am I crazy for thinking that it's weird to put a list of your triggers online? I feel like that is like, you are putting a big red target on your back of things that somebody could possibly say to you to hurt you, and especially since like we all have PTSD here, that is a big deal. Like that feels so invasive to do, especially in like servers of like over 100 people, or crap, only over 50 people. That feels really invasive to, like, you are putting a lot on the line here to tell everybody your triggers, or telling everybody about every single system member you have. Maybe I just have trust issues, but that feels like a lot, and I'm expected to do that. Like, it is sorry, my cat's clawing my chair. It is expected of me to add all this information to an intro, and it's expected of me to use tone tags. Oh my god, tone tags. So for clarity's sake, I'm autistic. I like tone tags sometimes. I think they can help certain conversations, but I don't understand all of them. There are too many, and a lot of them aren't needed. And I'm going to be the one to say it. I think a lot of them are stupid. I think half joking is stupid. I think / genuine is stupid. I joined a Discord server today, actually. That's what sparked this, because I fronted and I really wanted to join a server and like make friends, I guess. And I joined a server and they were like, oh, I hope you have fun. Like, I sent in my like verification thing and they were like, oh, welcome to the server. Like, I hope you have fun / Jen. Like, yeah, I hope that it was genuine. I'd really hope that you weren't lying to me about that. Like, it's expected that would be genuine. And I understand that not everybody understands tone, and obviously that's why tone tags were created. But I think that certain ones aren't needed. Like, I don't understand them. / amused? What is that? That sounds so stupid to me. And like, maybe if you need them in private one-on-one DMs, but I don't understand having a whole channel dedicated to tone tags that I must use. That is absolutely ridiculous to me. There's just too much to keep track of, to make friends in this community. Like, I feel like I have to be wary of like everybody's emotional baggage, and obviously that's par for the core. It's we all have DID, but putting that burden onto strangers to keep track of your entire trigger list and make sure that they use every specific tone tag that they need to use so that you couldn't possibly get upset during a conversation just sounds very chronically online. And it sounds like you don't talk to people outside of these communities. It's very echo chambery. Um, and I just wish that there was a more realistic, not saying that the people in these servers are like faking or anything, but a more realistic way of how people communicate online, or like how they communicate in person online. Like, I wish there wasn't such an emphasis on like being careful about everything. And as somebody who has like what's considered very silly triggers, I understand the need to curate a safe space, but I can't understand forcing like over 100 people in a Discord server to adhere to this like necessary safe space that you need. Um, I, it just doesn't make any sense to me personally, and it's hard for me to connect with these kinds of groups in the community because they're so over. Like, I feel outnumbered by the amount of people who um, present this way and who act this way and um, like behave this way in certain spaces and expect me to do the same. And when I can't, I'm seen as somebody who's being difficult because I don't understand how all these tone tags work. Um, I hope that I can make friends soon. I just wish that there was a more realistic representation, I guess, of this disorder and how it manifests. Especially because I feel like if you're gonna have a Discord server about like connecting people that have DID, why would talking about trauma always be a bad thing? Like, or like mentioning that you're having a flashback or that you're having a difficult day because of your symptoms, or like talking about the negative sides. Like, um, I'm gonna be real. Some of the stuff that I've seen in these roleplays in these servers genuinely looks like roleplay, but you can do that where you're having one person, like one system, talk amongst themselves for like 30 minutes and it's just them and their bot in different altars speaking out loud in a public server. So embarrassing. You can have that go on for 30 minutes completely by themselves. But if I mention that I'm having a difficult day because of my symptoms, then I need to censor that, or I need to, this isn't the space for that, or you can't talk about that. And it's like, is that what we're doing now? Are these the communities that we're harboring? Is this, it feels like we are closing off the community to like a huge group of people who have DID, and I am one of those people who, I don't know, I just wish there were more genuine experiences, I guess, online. And that's just Discord, especially with YouTube. It's really done up. A lot of the like main DID channels, I feel like, focus a lot on alters and oh wow, like switch caught on camera, this is very dramatic, and less on the, I haven't been able to get out of bed for 2 days because there's a 4-year-old screaming in my head, and nobody can reach her and tell her that she is not stuck in these trauma memories anymore and that we're actually out of that situation. And I'm just sitting here crying in my bed and I don't know what to do about it. And nobody talks about stuff like that. And it, well, not nobody, but the main like majority don't really talk about stuff like that because they don't want to paint DID in a negative light. But it's not a, it's a disorder. It's not like a happy go fun time thing. Like, I know some systems are like functionally multiple and they get along with their alters pretty well and stuff like that, but not everybody does. And I think that it would be nice if more YouTube channels showed the side of it being in treatment or even before treatment, because I'm not even in treatment right now. I'm about to be soon. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I have another therapy appointment in October. But people don't tend to talk about what happens when alters fight. Like, it can be scary, it can be ugly. It's absolutely terrifying when you front to two or more alters arguing about whether you should like slash delete yourself. Like, it's not just fun role playing and, you know, meet my alter outfit switch. Like, it's not like that. And it's really annoying when I join these communities and they all treat it like that. And I watch all these YouTube videos and they're all treating it like that. There are some genuine channels out there that I quite like. I mentioned Voboco before, and I absolutely love them, and they were a huge inspiration for why we started this channel to begin with, because they treat their YouTube channel like a video diary, and I want to do the same thing. Another motivation for me filming this was because Bambi forgot that I existed, or never knew. I'm not sure. So I predate our current host or social host by like a good couple of years, but he had no idea that I existed in the first place because he just didn't have access to those memories, I guess, like for a while. And then randomly, we have a whiteboard and made this list of alters that we know exist, because we wanted to get like a kind of a rough head count, and throughout like the month everybody was kind of writing who they knew. We eventually put it into the app, simply plural, just to keep track for ourselves, and just having everybody write down who they know so that we could put it all together and track what information we have about the system. And somebody wrote my name and he was like, oh my god, I completely forgot that he existed. And he had to be reminded that I existed in the first place. And I guess it makes sense because I don't tend to front a lot. So I'm here, Bambi, by the way. I exist. And whoever's in the future, I exist. I don't know. I think that's all for me. I don't even know if this is the shortest video out of the 3 so far, but hopefully I'll make them shorter. I don't know who else is going to make a video, but I'll write on the little whiteboard to make the video shorter so that it's not going to be like a bunch of 45-minute videos, but so that this video doesn't drag on, I'm going to go. I finished one whole row. You didn't see any of that, but I finished one whole row. This is not the whole blanket, it goes on. But hopefully next time I'm either actually going to be finishing a blanket, or who knows, maybe I'll actually be able to talk to the camera properly. So that's all. Bye.